Um, One time I was bringing in the garbage can after it had gotten taken out, like, and I was just wheeling it back inside, minding my own business. And I'm like, then I go inside and I wash my hands, and I go to open a door, and there's a slug on the back of my hand, and then I thought it was like a leech, so I tried to like fling it off, and then I did fling it off, and then I never found it. I don't know where it went. That's my story about a slug.
When I hear slugs, I think of someone getting punched. I don't exactly think of the snail thingy, or I think of the bullets.
I'm trying to remember if I've actually ever touched a slug. I remember touching worms as a kid. It's because I grew up with a lot of like boy cousins, so they would like challenge me to do these weird things.
Slugs. Slugs.
Is a slug the one that's like really slimy too?
Literally living pieces of mucus.
And slugs, I had escargot once, and that was interesting, and I realized I was eating a slug, and it tastes like nothing. And I'm like, all this big deal about an escargot, this fancy name for a slug that has no taste. I found that to be fascinating.
I was recently informed that slugs are like homeless snails. Basically.
But I don't think we ever really touched the slug. But I know Gary from SpongeBob.
Oh, that's right.
But he's a snail, he's not a slug.
Like a homeless slug, I guess. Like, well, there's a slug that has now a home, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Slugs. I'm not sure. I keep these behind me. I think this is a slug. It's helped me in the past. I don't actually have a gun here, but it's helped me in the past. Rude people. They're nice to me when they see these behind me. So, anyway. Slugs, yeah. They're, it's a funny word. It's like a word that makes you want to eat another word. Slugs.
Doesn't have a house? Oh, that's weird. It's like a sad snail then. At least the snail has a home though. Yeah, the slug is kind of like not as fortunate, I guess. That's a sad one then. I want to know a sad story. Okay, it's about sandwiches. Ready for the story?
In elementary school, I was very picky, so every day instead of having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I would just have a peanut butter sandwich on white bread, and my grandma would cut the crusts off for me, but it was very, very bland, especially after every single day.
In high school, my mom would pack me lunches, and it's kind of sad because she doesn't know this. She kind of knows this, but like, she would pack me these lunches every day because she knew that I didn't eat as much, or I didn't like the cafeteria food. So she would like get up really early and pack me like these homemade, like really elaborate sandwiches, like toast the bread and put like special combinations and stuff. It was always the same thing, but it was always like some kind of like love put into it.
I really enjoy corned beef sandwiches as a native or as a local of the Metro Detroit area. It's a pride and joy to have a good corned beef type sandwich. So that's probably one of my favorites. A Reuben, anything that has a corned beef combination. Sometimes I get like these old man tendencies, and I'll get chopped liver with the corned beef sandwich, and to the chagrin, just to the dismay of my friends. They're just like, okay, don't talk anymore after you eat that sandwich. Just don't.
Every time I eat a sandwich, I think I'm at camp or on a school field trip, because that sandwiches is the thing that you eat at a school field trip. And so as an adult, whenever I eat a sandwich, I feel like a child. And then I question, why am I eating the sandwich? As an adult. Make something hot. Also, I remember drinking pickle juice all the time as a child. And I still do. I'll eat the last pickle, and then I'll drink the juice. and that's always fun.
Pickles. I grew up in a household that did not know what pickles were. The first time I met pickles was when I was in kindergarten, and we would bring our lunches and we would trade. This is the first form of commerce I was exposed to. For some of my rice and meat, whatever was packed for me that was not a sandwich, I was able to trade little things like a little piece of fruit roll-up or a little piece of this, and someone had a pickle, and I was just like, oh, it's a cucumber, but it's weird. And they're like, no, it's a pickle. You never seen a pickle before? I'm like, no, not really. And then that's the first time I had a pickle, and it was gross.
I'll eat the last pickle, and then I'll drink the juice. And that's always fun.
And it took me many years. I think the next time I had a pickle I was in high school. I mean, I don't know what it is with baby taste buds, but the first time kindergarten, I just thought it was the grossest thing ever. I was expecting cucumber, and it was just like this weird flavor sensation I was not expecting. And yeah, it took me a long time to get over that trauma. So yeah, pickles are fine. I like them. It's not something I actually yearn for. Like some people they crave them. It's alright. Yeah. Pickles.
Sports is very trivial. Everybody knows sports, I guess. I grew up playing sports. I played soccer.
Golf, if I'm doing it, and if it's in the putt-putt version.
One time I played water puff football in high school. But yeah, sports, I think, were always this sort of like fun outlet of energy. Like again, I would always play with my cousins.
I wish napping was a sport. I would be the best napper, be professional grade. And then I'd feel accomplished too. No, I would win. Maybe, probably.
I don't have a real interest in sports other than the fact that I like the sound of sports. Watching TV and hearing football playing in the background makes me feel so calm. It makes me want to go to sleep. But I have no interest at all in watching football. And when I think of sports, for some reason, I immediately go to football.
Sports. It's when you take something and you bring it from this place to this place in a certain location, and everyone's happy. So, sports, I think, is a way for humanity to transcend war. I think it's an expression of accomplishment, of trials and tribulations. But I honestly think that in a perfect society, when there is no war, sports will be the vehicle that contains the need for the releasing of conflict physically. So I think that sports is awesome.